Hello and welcome everybody to the Petty Crew Radio Show. I'm your boy, Boss Hogg. Um, y'all know me, aka Mr. Titty, aka I will put my foot up in your you know what. Want to thank everybody for tuning in today. We have a great show today. So please make sure you like and you share today's show. We are streaming, multi-streaming on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. So shout out to our YouTube watchers and viewers, and shout out to our Twitter uh, viewers also. As you see, I normally, hold the show down with my partners in crime, Diamond and Roz, but last minute situations came up, and I'm going to be holding down by myself. But I have some great guests in the building. We're going to get to them. So what I think I'm going to do, they are actress and actor cast members of the um, upcoming movie Heavy the Movie. So before we get into a conversation with them, I'm going to play the trailer. We're going to also be speaking about Kevin Samuel. You guys are familiar with this gentleman. Uh, he has created a buzz for himself by speaking to black women and essentially telling them that they need to have realistic expectations. Now, I don't follow this brother like that, but I have seen some clips. I've seen commentary on this guy. And what made me wanted to talk about him today was I was at work Friday, ran across a video on YouTube from a um, YouTube channel called Your Black World. There's a woman on the show. Her name is Vicky Dillard. I love listening to this woman, and she just happened to be speaking about Kevin Samuel. And she brought up some points in which I wanted to raise with my audience today. And we're going to just speak about Kevin Samuel. As I said, and as you guys might know on my social media page, my question was, I thought gay black men were black women best friends. Let me say that again. I thought gay black men were black females best friends. And you guys, once you see the video, you will understand what I'm talking about. And we're going to dive into that. We're going to end today's show talking about Auntie Mo'nique. You guys know comedian, celebrity, legendary Mo'nique. You know, she is a little controversial. And in her latest video, she speaks directly to
the sisters
women wearing bonnets.
Mm-hmm.
She did a video. You have some people who are for her. Again, you're going to always have critics at the same time. So we're going to play that video and we're going to discuss that as well. So without further ado, what I'm going to do is I am going to play the trailer of Heavy. Then we're going to come back and we're going to talk back to a couple of the cast members of the movie. So let me pull up this movie, share my screen with you guys. And the beauty of the pandemic and everything, now you don't have to be in a studio. You can do everything at home. Like I tell people, I'm literally at the end of my bed, at the end of my bed doing my show. So let me pull up the screen and we're going to get right to it. For you guys that are watching, this is the trailer to Heavy the Movie. And when you're watching the trailer, you're going to also see a couple of people on here that are familiar who played in a couple of movies.
Now, are you ready to like change the game?
Yeah, I remember most of y'all. Some girls like this.
Bro, y'all see that shit? Rats on rats, nigga. Oh, yeah. We got an issue, buddy. You read. It's time to go. You know our friends when you were at you what? Kill me. Give me your ass. 10 seconds, give me my money. That's a small talk. What you think you doing? Sorry, what you sell? She don't know, do she?
So you didn't know Reese was a hustler.
What you didn't know wasn't gonna hurt you.
I don't fuck with no street niggas, Reed.
Nigga, I'm not being sad. You was ruthless, nigga. I still got to start proof. Take a kid right under y'all. That's about having me.
Could have been having a good time for the past couple of weeks if you were playing so hard to get.
I can't leave you this morning a couple hours for some shit go bad. Now you know how I get down. Body to body.
Oh yeah.
So again, everybody, that was Heavy the movie. With that being said, I have two cast members with me, and before the show, I was asking this young lady how do she pronounce her name, because I'm one of those, I don't want to mess up nobody's name. So I'm going to be safe. I'm not even going to even try to practice it and pronounce it as protocol dictates. Women are first here on this show. We put women
Right
first.
on.
So
Right on.
with that being said, I want this young lady to introduce herself. After she introduced herself, I'm hearing this is a pretty major young lady, and I want her to run down her bio. You sitting up there, you smiling and you laughing and all that. Hey, it's okay to pat yourself on the back for an interview. So with that being said, Miss Lady, you have our attention.
Hello, everybody. My name is Nadirah Shakir. I was born and raised in San Antonio, Texas. I went to the University of Houston and ran track there, where I met my husband, and he's from Dallas, so that's how I ended up in Dallas. And I've been in Dallas over a decade, and I've been blessed to grow and glow within this career that I call acting. I'm also an educator. I teach 7th grade math, excuse me, and I coach volleyball and track. My husband and I just had a child. Her name is Aaliyah. She's 4 months today, or 4 weeks, not 4 months, 4 weeks today. She makes a month on Wednesday. So we have been adjusting to that. I'm taking some time off within acting, but I actually was, what was I, like 4 months pregnant while we were shooting this, 4 or 5 months pregnant. And it's very crazy because I do not play a girl next door in this movie. So it was very difficult to get the proper wardrobe for this movie, but we made it happen. Luckily, I'm pretty petite. So I wasn't showing the months that I probably was. So shout out to Tiara, DeMarcus. They got me in and out so that I wasn't too big while they finished up the rest of this movie. And I played somebody by the name of L'Oreal, and Benet is not very nice to me. He's my owner, as you should say. They should say my pimp, and that's what I play in this movie. But outside of that, Benet says I'm big, but I'm not. I don't.
Don't start that. Don't start that. I'm waiting for you to get to.
I am at all. I'm until just like
award-winning actress.
Just like
award-winning actress.
Just like our host says, he doesn't know how to say my name. So until I don't have to introduce myself, I'm not where I want to be yet. So I have been blessed to do like a lot of commercials and done things locally. I've been on a few things outside of what people would call local, but I'm just continuing to grow within the industry. That's all I'm doing right now.
Already, well, listen, thank you very much again. As I said, even off air, again, I appreciate you guys taking your time to speak with me. Also, we have a gentleman in the building as well who I'm going to also give the floor. But for you guys that are watching, every blue moon, I have the major guest in the building. You guys know who I'm holding in my arms right now. Silver is golden. So I would be remiss without mentioning my son. You guys have seen him over the years. He's grown. He's 19 years old now. As you can see, he is knocked out, and he will not let me put him down.
Did you say 19 years old?
Yes, 19. So in the building again, we have Silver, who is golden. Everybody has a name for radio, so he already has his. Silver is golden, is in the building. With that being said, we have a gentleman who's also if I'm not mistaken, one of the actors as well of the movie. You have the floor. Please let everybody know who you are.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am the BENETEMBRY, Benet, host of the Benet Show, which comes to you live and uncut starting in September. Right down the street over there is the CW33. I play a character called Nate. Nate is somebody who is totally against my character, but I tried to do my best to fill it in to make it do what it do. Right now, if you go Google me, you will see I have about 19 credits in acting as far as movies, commercials, TV shows, and other digital programming. So that's pretty much it with me. Writer, director, poet, author.
Are we talking about Googling somebody? We Googling people?
Yeah.
If we doing it, Google me, baby. No.
So that being said, if I could take a moment to first off thank this young lady, because she was 4 months pregnant, filming, and in this film there were some times where I kind of had to put my hand on her, and me knowing that she's pregnant, I was very scary of doing that. I think there was a car scene, and she was trying to give me some money or something, and I kind of took it out of her hand. She looked at me when the camera said cut. She said, "You need to snatch this out of my hand." I said, "Well, you pregnant? Don't worry about that. You snatch it. I'm all right. I'm not gonna break." So she helped me.
We can't have people watching a movie saying, what's he doing?
Well, I was just trying to be, you know what I'm saying? I'm married, and you know, when my wife is with the child, which we're working on number 4, I know I try to cater and make everything do what it does.
Right.
So, but this lady down here is one of the premier actresses in the DFW area. I can tell you that us men talk, and we were like, if you could work with any actress around here locally and could play any role that comes up, her name was always the first name that come out the box. So I knew I had to step my game up if I'm sharing screen time with her, whatever the situation was.
Thank you, Nate. Thank you.
So she brought all that aggression you see, that's her. She brought that out.
Yeah. So with that being said, since you guys are since let's go into the movie, and then we're gonna get a little personal because again we have a new mother, and you know, like I told you off screen, welcome to parenthood. I'm raising
the toughest hood that there is. They want to talk about Bloods and Crips. I'm telling you, parenthood. That's the hoodest hood of the hood.
Yeah, it is. Listen, you know. So again, welcome to that. But let's get to this movie because you know, first and foremost, when is the premiere of the movie? When will it be releasing?
The premiere is June 19th, and Tiara's gonna kill me. The premiere is at
Chocolate Lounge.
Yeah, the Chocolate Lounge. Well, I think there's a concert.
I was about to say something else is happening.
Yeah, there's a concert on June 18th, and some of the artists in the movie, it's like a prelude to the actual premiere. So I know something's at the Chocolate Lounge. I mean, the concert is at the Chocolate Lounge. Please go get your tickets for that.
The movie premiere is sold out though. So if you missed
movie premiere is sold out.
Baby, I'm sorry you missed out.
Yeah.
Well, damn. Well, I will be there Saturday because I think I'm gonna be at the premiere too. I mean, again, you know, with media, ain't no telling. But
the concert's June 18th at 7:30 at, like y'all said, the Chocolate Lounge. That's 1011 Corinth Street in Dallas, Texas. That starts at 7:30 again, June 18th, and then like said, the premiere is the day after on June 19th.
Okay, and if I'm not mistaken, the premiere is it Studio Movie Grill, or where do it say that the premiere is going to be held?
I'm looking at information up in forward now. Let me find
that.
I
can pull it up as well. Like I said, I mean, I'm sure that people that know who bought tickets will know where it's at. Because we're going to be in the building. I've been knowing for a long time now. So what I want to know, first and foremost, and again, ladies first, what attracted you to this movie?
Well, again, I'd like to shout out my girl Tiara, T Stacks, my auntie C Stacks. I didn't, to be honest, I actually didn't care what the movie was. What happened was Tiara, she was a new, when it came to, this is her first movie, and I just wanted to support her like 100%. So whatever she was doing, I was just wanting to be a part. And I looked at the characters, and L'Oreal just kind of said something to me. The description of what L'Oreal was and who she embodied, I said, that's different. I hadn't done that before. And so that's what brought me to that character. But when it came to the movie, I was going to be a part, whether I was going to be the person to hold the slate, if I was going to go get some food for somebody. I just really wanted to support Tiara, whether I had a role or not. So that's how I ended up doing the movie per se. Like I said, she's also a fellow educator. So I just wanted to support her and hold it down.
Okay, and for everybody that's watching now, you have to explain to us, who is Tiara? Because y'all be mentioning her.
Shout out to T
hello. Tiara is the writer and co-director of the movie. So she came up with the synopsis and everything, and put it all together. DeMarcus Bailey is the actual director of the movie. So again, shout out to both of them.
Okay, now only you, my brother. What drew you to your role into this movie?
Well, when I first saw the casting call, I actually went and auditioned for the pastor, because in the past, typically I'm always the father, the pastor, the police officer, the detective, or something of that nature, which was cool. You know, I'm very grateful for those roles. But then I was asked to read for Nate. And it intrigued me because this is my first bad guy role. This is the first role that, you know, I can, you know, show some range as far as acting goes. And then I read the script and I was like, this is the first time first time writer that wrote this. So it's beautifully written. It's clear and concise from start to end. That's how, and then I said, okay, I really want to be a part of this, because however it's shot, shout out to GK for doing a great job shooting the movie.
And being so flexible with everything.
Yeah, it was just so comfortable with everything. Everything just flowed. So I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty excited about this, but that's what made me actually want to be a part of this, this production.
And I want to go back to answer your question. I found that information. So the movie is going to be again, the concert's on the 18th at the Chocolate Lounge, and then the actual movie is on the 19th. And yes, it's at Studio Movie Grill, 6:30 p.m. and it's at the one that's off of North Central Expressway. But again, I'm it's sold out. So
yeah, so go be there. And if you're not, you just go have to wait until you and find it on your screen. Now,
yeah, it's going to be on. I know it's for sure. It's going to be on Tubi and Amazon, and I think she mentioned another app, but for sure Tubi and Amazon. I do know about those two.
Okay, now, because we talking to you guys, and people are wanting to know, what is the movie heavy about? What is the theme, the plot? So what is,
now, brother, we can't give you all of that. We can't give you everything.
You're gonna have to drop some nuggets.
I'll give you the synopsis of it. We the same thing we got when we auditioned. It's a hood love story. Okay. And it's about two brothers who are at odds, and you're gonna have to find out what happens with them. But it's basically a hood love story, but within the theme of the movie, heavy, about life being a little too heavy in certain areas of the parameter with the main character's environment and what he wants to do in life. So it's kind of conflicts within the story as well. And everybody kind of has their own story within the story. So even though there's a main character, each character, how can I say it? Each character gives you stories within the stories of their lives. Like, it's not solely on one person. You understand why this person is the way because of the interaction with another person and so forth and so forth.
Right. Now, when I watched the trailer, and again, I've been having the trailer back in March. I think when Candace first sent it to me, I wanted to know, was this going to be your typical drug movie? Now,
Definitely not.
and
Definitely
I asked
not.
that because when I seen it, I mean, it don't take much to realize that somewhere drugs have to be involved, illegal activity. And so in my mind, I'm like, well, what will make this movie different or set it apart from movies in that genre? What makes this movie different?
This is why it makes it different. Because yes, there are drugs in the movie, but the drugs is not the focal point. As my castmate says, it is a love story, and it's the
Right.
struggle of a love story in certain specific environments. So the other things surrounding that love only enhances everything. So it's not uh, a typical shoot 'em up, people getting high and all of that stuff and everything like that, which is cool because it tells a story. It tells a
Mhm.
story of love. It tells a story of struggle. It tells a story of perseverance and fortitude to get all of these things into place. So I think, so if you're, if this is a menace to society, no. If this is, think about it as, think about it as what's that movie about poetry? Think about Love Jones with some guns.
Oh, okay. Okay. I can see that. And like I said, the trailer is just a teaser, and I seen it and I'm like, okay, yeah, I can't wait to see it, because I really can't wait to see it. And I'm saying, well, before the show and everything, I'm on YouTube and shit, and I'm like, damn, let me try to find this trailer. Now I'd already had it in my inbox on social media on Facebook, but I'm like, well, damn, let me look, seen all these heavies, and that what made me think about the show. I said, well, let me ask, well, it's a couple of heavies out there. What will make heavy any different? Now, Miss Lady, you said that you are a former track athlete, correct?
Who's Miss Lady? Nadirah?
Yes, Miss Nadirah. I know how to pronounce it
I'm
now.
just seeing if you can say it yet. I was just
Yeah,
saying.
I'm just scared. I know how to pronounce the shit. I'm just so I'm not sure if you've been following track, but this morning I seen, and you probably be familiar with Shirley Ann Fraser, world renowned athlete out of Jamaica. She just ran a 10.63.
Yeah, my
Wow.
husband and I was watching that. I don't know if that's the race that we saw because unfortunately I don't have the ESPN packages, but we watch it on YouTube later.
Mhm.
So we were watching all the highlights and stuff, and the young lady from LSU that broke that record in college. But I hadn't seen the lady from Jamaica yet. What happened? What happened? That happened today?
Well, I think it happened yesterday.
Okay,
And,
I have to go back and watch that.
yeah, you can go back and you can watch the race and everything. She ran a 10.63, so now she
Woo!
has ran.
Is that faster than what's that young lady from
Nah,
Dallas?
that ain't FloJo
Tyler
yet.
Richard. So,
Yes,
so
is that faster than what she's running
yeah, Chicago.
Oh, wait, you talking about for who?
for the 100?
Yeah, for the 100. So here's the setup. So Shakira Richards, that's who you're talking about, the young lady that
Right.
came out of LSU.
Yeah.
Okay,
Florida
yeah,
High School.
LSU.
She ran a 10.74. That was
Yeah,
the
she was
fastest.
the only one that was close. Like she would have been the last of the men, but she would have been hanging with them, and then
Right,
everybody
right.
else was
She would
way
have got an
after
A
her.
place and she would have ran against the men.
Yeah.
Fast forward to now, because I forgot the other little Jamaican young lady who runs with Shirley Ann Fraser. Then she runs a 10.7 something. And
Mm-hmm.
then today, I wake up and I see Shirley Ann Fraser, who also is a mother. I believe she's maybe in her mid 30s, late.
Ooh,
She drops a 10.63.
that's
See,
crazy.
I see you saying all this stuff, and it makes me feel a certain type of way because I struggle to run up the street and back, trying to get in shape. and you talking about these ladies up here running close to sub tens and all of that stuff. That's crazy.
That's crazy. She said, I'm coming for FloJo record. That's what she said.
Listen, right now she literally is the second fastest behind FloJo. FloJo still holds the fastest record in the 100. But I asked that because you said you're an athlete, and I wanted your take on and Benet, you can also chime in. But I wanted to know from you guys: do you think these times are performance enhancement associated?
I do not. Jamaica has always had a strong track team, both for men and women. You got this young lady that's right out of Carter High School that went to LSU. I mean,
oh, that's my sister. Hey, sister.
There's no. You know, you can't take away somebody's hard work. As much as you try, they said the same thing about FloJo. They said the same thing about Jackie Jonah Kersey. They said the same thing about Serena Williams. You know, let our sisters be great. I mean, you know, so me personally, no, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I mean, I think that comes from hard work and proper training and all of that stuff and everything like that. So,
gotcha. Your thoughts?
I would like to agree with my castmate. That's all I have to say.
Okay, well, again, welcome to the Pettigrew Radio Show. I'm going to have to just say, you know what? I have a question mark. As a former athlete myself, who's set records, who's ran track, I love my sisters. I've been following all of them. The young lady from Dallas, Carter, as well. When she first hit the 10.74, I just asked the question on social media. Well, I just made a statement. I said, I hope that this was legit. And the first person that came to mind was, what's the young lady that played basketball and ran track?
Marion something.
Marion Jones.
Marion Jones, yeah.
Right, Marion Jones. And so.
But you know what? I hate to cut you off. There have been there's been so many other athletes that don't get that stigma. You know, with us, it's always an asterisk or a hiccup or a question mark or a something like that. I mean, when Christian McCaffrey made it to the NFL, you know, as one of the few white running backs, nobody said, is he on any performance enhancing drugs? He's just a good running back, regardless of his skin tone. So just accept that and, you know, move on. And so the people that cast doubt like that, you know, I really want to say, you know, go get you a life. And again, let the sisters be great, because, you know, every record is made to be broken. There's somebody coming behind somebody, you know, behind Dr. J came Michael Jordan, behind Michael Jordan. I mean, well, yeah.
I'm about to say, there was some people before that, but yeah.
And then you got Kobe, then you got LeBron. So there is a significant.
They mad at LeBron for not making the finals in 15 years. Like,
that's my thing. I don't understand why. I just do not understand the hate. Why somebody has to be the greatest. Jordan was the greatest in his time. Kobe was the greatest in his time. This is LeBron's time now. I mean, you know, so
right.
I don't know why we pit each other, but and go back to your original question. That's just my thoughts on it.
Gotcha. And like I said, man, again, I as somebody who follows track heavy, now to white people, we do it with Michael Phelps. They did it with Michael Phelps. The difference is in the black community, we just talk black. So we just see black. But Michael Phelps.
Real quick, my mama just joined. My mama just joined watching.
Hey, shout out, mama.
Hey, mama.
With, you know, Michael Phelps. You know, he is the greatest swimmer of all time. He will go down legendary. We did it with him. They did it with, you know, white divers. They're out there. I just wanted to ask the question again because I posted on social media a couple of years ago. And sadly, what happens is we know here in the USA who dominates track. African Americans. You know, and it just seemed like every time we set the bar, we then find out what's the latest guy? He came out of Tennessee. I forgot his name, but you know, he was doing good. Then we find out he gets popped for having substances in them. And again, I salute all these sisters because I want all of them to do well. On the flip side, I have to ask, what are you doing that is different from all the other women? We have a ton of fast women in track. What are you doing at a couple of babies on the tail end of your 30s, and you're still performing at a high level? And I just wanted to know. I just wanted your thoughts.
I would give you an example. Odell Beckham Jr. His mother ran track at LSU. I played against his father in high school, and I think he went to LSU and had a very dominating college career. And he is going to be soon one of the premier receivers in the NFL. And but I'm a Cowboy fan. Let me just say that first. But on the same token, those genetics, those hard work and everything, some people just have it. Some people, like, look at my castmate down there. Did you see that smile when she first came on there? Did that not light up the whole internet?
Right.
Now I can smile all day long, but I'm not gonna have that effect that she had, and it has nothing to do with she just has it. Just like some people just have a neck. That's your talent. That's what God blessed you with. So
that's what it is. Okay, like I said, I just want your thoughts since we was. We entered some sports into the bio and everything. Listen, with that being said, this is opportunity as we shift to the next part of our show as we continue the show again. Thank everybody for tuning in. Please make sure you like, you share. Again, shout out to our viewers who are on Facebook, YouTube, as well as Twitter. Please make sure you like and you share today's show. We have a couple of exceptional guests with us today. They are actor and actress Benet. Embry, did I pronounce that right?
Worship Master, you going Benet.
Benet, sorry about that. I see the regular E. Now in the bio, it had the little hyphen at the top. So
yeah.
Okay. And then we also have Nadirah, Shakir.
Oh, look at that.
Yes, and also we have our honorary co-host who's holding it down while he's knocked out. We have Silver, who is golden as well in the building. So
how old is he for real?
No, he's 19 months. He's going to be.
You said okay.
Yeah, because you kept saying 19 years.
No, 19 months. No, he's 19 months. So he'll be 2 in September. With that being said, we're also finna jump into. I'm going to share a video from a young lady. Her name is Vicky Dillard. You can find her on YouTube from the channel, I believe, Your Black World. And every blue moon, I catch this woman. And just so happened Friday morning, I was scrolling through YouTube trying to find some shows to listen to as I work. And I ran across her, and she was speaking on Kevin Samuels. And so let me set up this video before I share it. Because I'm going to start close to the tail end. Basically what she does is, for you guys who've been following Kevin Samuel and this whole situation, is he gay or not? Should you be listening to a black man who's not being honest about who he is, blah, 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 blah. She goes on and she tries to break down, I guess apparently he pops up a video or a picture on accident of a man in a bed. It created an uproar. And so, again, I don't follow this brother like that, but because I am in social media and all that, people send me stuff all the time, and I just happen to run across her show speaking on him. And as usual, if you know me, when I see shit, I got questions.
Now, this is the part of the show where I'm probably going to get in trouble because as I am a free thinker, I tend to speak my mind and it may not come out right. So please excuse me for people who have listened to my show and know me in real life. Yeah. Okay.
No, let's get with it. So on the Pedicure Radio Show, I want all my guests to be open and honest. I'm apologetic, like I told you pre the show. Yes, I am who I am outside of the show, but everybody knows once I cut this video on or in the studio, do not say nothing to me outside this show. Whatever is said on this show stays on this show. Do not confront me when this show is over. I do this for real. So with that being said, I'm going to play this video from YouTube. I'm going to play it. I'm going to let you guys listen to it, and we're going to discuss it, and then we're going to end the show again. We're going to be talking about Mo'nique. So let me get this video up and running. I want you guys to watch it, and at some point I'm gonna stop. I'm just gonna let it play for a little bit so you guys can kind of see where this young lady is coming from. So let me pull up my screen, and I see Nadirah down there. She looking like I can't wait. I'm trying to see this, so let me do that. I'm gonna share it, and so here we go.
But this alleged yearbook picture says Kevin Roshan Samuels, in parentheses is Fred. His name is Fred in parentheses. It says Kevin Roshan Samuels, Fred, is a Pisces who describes himself. Family, I'm not making nothing up. Let me put this in big bold letters. Y'all see this? He describes himself, look. That's what this is. I was sent this and I did a little research. He describes himself as unique. Stop. He's unique. Fred. He goes by Fred. He was going by Fred at this time. Allegedly. Okay? Kevin Roshan Samuels, in parentheses, he goes by Fred. He says he's a Pisces who describes himself as unique. Kevin enjoys dancing, clothes, and meeting people. He is a member of the band, student council, stage band, MHS dancers, pep club, and the Bronze Gents. Kevin plans to attend OU and major in biomed. Other information is out there that Fred was a cheerleader. Allegedly, Fred, unique Fred, was a cheerleader. That's okay. It's okay. It's okay for him to be an MHS dancer. It's okay for him to enjoy dancing in clubs. It's okay for him to go by Fred. We're bringing these things up, family, because Kevin Samuels has gotten hundreds of thousands of men, many followers, male followers, that defend him, that love him, that go to work and make money to give to Fred, unique Fred. Talk black to me. It's okay for him to have been a cheerleader, allegedly, an MHS dancer, pep squad and stuff. Pep squad. Yeah. Go pep. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Go kittens. It's okay. It's okay. But what's the point, Vicky? Vicky, what point are you making? What's the problem? What's the issue? It's not a problem. It's not the issue. It's okay to be on the pep squad. It's okay. It's all right. Why are you talking about this? My problem is he's gotten hundreds of thousands of views, hundreds of thousands of subscribers. I probably should say millions of views total. Hundreds of thousands of subscribers. Watch this. Talking about how women need to stop being masculine. God today. Fred, who's on the pep club. That's what the bio says here. It says Kevin Roshan Samuels, in parentheses, Fred, is a Pisces who describes himself as unique. Enjoys dancing, clothes, meeting people. He's a member of the band, student council, stage band, MHS dancers, pep club. What's the problem with that? It's not a problem being who you really are. My issue is you're trying to teach women how to be more feminine and stop being masculine. But I have a problem because I twitching and twirling and hurling. I'm trying to see how do your extraordinary new army of male bussies that defend you, how do they say, yay, Kevin talks to us about masculinity? When all of the energy from the pep squad, jeez, look, I'm just asking. Now, maybe because you dress like, maybe because you give off this energy, maybe you are the best one to tell a woman how to be feminine. I'm trying to see how can the men, talk black to me, justify all this. Now, here's the problem. Here's the problem. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Why am I talking about this? One brother who was on my page, as soon as I posted this, look what he put. This brother right out here, I'm not trying to really put his name too much. I'm going to cover up his face on this picture. But I want you to see this brother's comments. Can y'all see this? This brother commented on my page this. Share, 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 family. Share, share, share. Can y'all see that? Look at what somebody put on my page a little bit ago. Let me try to be still. Again, follow me on Instagram at Vicky X Diller. Thumbs up, thumbs up. Can y'all see that? Unique Fred followers said, this guy, as soon as I posted this guy says, he said 100% facts. He's busting up that modern woman feminist mindset. The reason that most black women will die alone. Y'all see that picture? This guy put this. He put a dog emoji. This black man, I went to his page, he claims he's a religious man. He says he's busting up that modern feminist mindset. The reason that most black women will die alone with their dogs. Let me tell you something, family. Why am I talking about this? There is no subject that's off subject for me, Vicky Dillard, when it comes down to the black family. This Kevin Samuels phenomenon is not personal. It's not even about Kevin Samuels. In fact, I say thank God for Kevin Samuels because Kevin Samuels is exposing the deep bussy density in a lot of you brothers. And some of the brothers the folks that's quoting Kevin, following Kevin, putting Kevin on their social media pages, they're allegedly religious brothers. He's exposing the weaknesses in black society. So I say thank God for Kevin Samuels. Someone else said, Vicky, numbers don't lie. That's what somebody put on my page. Somebody said numbers don't lie. This man has a big following. Baby, Donald Trump had big numbers. Cardi B has big numbers. Suki with the good coochie has big numbers. Lizzo has big numbers. More than that, there's a spiritual principle that says, wide is the gate to hell, and narrow is the gate for righteousness. So just because somebody's got a big following doesn't mean you're going in the right direction. Slowness. What's wrong with you? You ain't thinking deep enough. Come again. It's spiritual. Somebody else said this. Somebody else said, I'm going to help y'all. Somebody else said, Vicky, forget the messenger. Somebody else said, I don't care what his private life is about. Somebody else said, I don't care what his private life is about. Somebody else said, forget the messenger, just focus on the message. Somebody said, forget the messenger. Somebody said, focus on the message. And I got to thinking. Somebody said, forget the messenger and just focus on the message. Forget the messenger and just focus on the message. Hold on. What did you say, Kevin? Hold on. How do you want black women to act for men?
Dogs obey.
I'm sorry, what did you say, Kevin?
And
Because dogs obey.
mm,
You ever try to call a cat?
yeah, they don't
Right.
at all.
Are cats called men's best friend?
No.
What's called man's best friend?
So I'm going to fast forward just a little bit, and we're going to run into it. We're
How
going to talk about
big
this.
was his phallus? Unique Fred asked another man who he was on the phone with how big was his package. So some of you masculine brothers, alleged masculine brothers, said that you don't care about him asking another man how big his package is. Kevin Samuels told the man he's got a big eggplant. And Kevin kept asking him, are you big? Do you have a big package? Y'all said y'all don't care. Somebody else just said y'all listen to other gay men. Why not this one? Let me help you with your funny looking self. Thumbs up, share, share, share. Thumbs up, share, share, share. Let me help you in just a second. Share, 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 family.
Oh man.
Yeah, we're going to jump into it. I'm just waiting for her to say what she got to say right here, and we got to talk about this.
The reason, beloved, we're not going with that ridiculous argument that you all want us to say, forget how he talks to women. Forget that he disrespects them, calls them out of their name. Some of you say, just focus on the truth that he tells. Some of you all said, he tells the truth. Slowness. The white supremacists tell the truth sometimes. Slowness. The devil knows the scriptures and tells the truth sometimes. I don't know anybody on the globe that every now and then don't acknowledge some kind of truth somewhere. So you using that as an excuse. You saying that because he tells the truth sometimes, focus on that. Well, as for Vicky is not tripping with Kevin Samuels because of the truth he tells. Listen, I said I don't have a problem with the truth that Kevin Samuels tells. I agree with some of the truth that Kevin Samuels tells. But where I draw the line, it's not the truth that has me messed up with Kevin. It's the lies he tells. It's when he tells the world in an interview that the black woman is universally unattractive, that she is universally ugly in every category. I played the clip on that a week or two ago.
All right, there we go. And we have
My
it.
problem with Fred.
With that being said, you guys can go and watch the rest of that video. Again, I started it somewhere in the middle, close to the end. And with that being said, we're going to talk about Kevin Samuel, and we're going to talk about what this young lady has to say, because there was a different aspect of this conversation that was put into play. And so for you guys that don't know, first and foremost, what she was bringing up was, and she said it in the close to the end with all that fluff, she said, I don't have a problem with some of his truth. I have a problem with the lies he tells. That was number one. And the last thing which she was talking about was everybody now and then tells the truth. I said, well, okay, that's kind of true. What I want to know from you guys, and you guys have watched this video, and I see some folks that chime in. First and foremost, let me say shout out to everybody who's tuned in. Shout out to our faithful brother Dios Patterson. He is the owner of Patterson Clothing Line. He's already been chimed in. I'm gonna post your comment, but we're gonna let our guests talk about this. First and foremost, before we jump into her statements, I want to know generally, what are your thoughts on Kevin Samuel? Again, Nadirah, you have the floor, lady, in the building. First, talk to me on that. Don't go into the video. Tell me what are your thoughts, because I'm sure you've heard about this brother. I'm sure you've seen some clips here and there. And then we're going to pass it to the Benet. You got it.
Silence says it all. Real quick before you answer, I see Tiara has just joined. Hey, T-Stacks, shout out to you. Thank you for the movie.
That's our director and writer.
Hey, shout out to Tiara again. Thank you for tuning in to the show. I just reach a couple of 100,000 people a month. I'm nobody major, but shout out for chiming in, and thank you. Please make sure you like and you share this video of your some of your co-stars of the show, of the movie. So again, you got the floor. Talk to me. Kevin Samuel, don't go into the video. Tell me about what's your thoughts about Kevin Samuel.
I particularly gravitate toward things that are going to be conducive and positive. So I do not know his story or follow him or know much of what he does. I've seen some clips, but I also know how marketing works. So I know that on his channel or on his Instagram or whatever, he's going to put, or anybody, not just he, just the way marketing goes, you put the most controversial things out, you put the most outrageous things out to gravitate and get people to come into you. So I'm pretty sure there's more to what he is than I guess what he's put out. Again, I've never seen an interview. I don't know what he does. I know from what I hear, people feel he's disrespectful to women and things like that. Again, I don't know. I don't have an opinion about what or who he is. I've seen the memes, I've seen the jokes, but I don't get a lot of them because again, I don't really pay attention to what he does. The only thing I know is that a lot of men agree with him, kind of like what she was saying. There's lots of men that are on his side, and then there's lots of women that feel he's disrespectful and a clown. But I don't have an opinion because I have not sat to give him my time. I don't typically watch 15, 20 minutes of anybody. So yeah, especially if it's negative.
Right. Okay. So let me. Yeah. Again, I'm the same here. I don't follow this guy, but I'm in media, so shit you got to talk about.
Right.
In a nutshell, this is a brother who has hit the scene, and apparently he's been around for a while, and he has a show.
Mm-hmm.
And what he does is, and what he's become known for is bringing women on who, again, they contact him for advice.
Okay.
And so probably some of the clips you've seen that I've seen, because again, I've never watched one of his shows other than just like you watch the videos. And it is him constantly telling women that, for instance, I believe I watched a clip where he was telling, one young lady where, he asked you your size, how many children you have. And in a nutshell, that you need to be realistic about your expectations for the type of man you want. That's basically what he does in a nutshell.
So is he speaking like how you're speaking, or is it is the delivery messed up?
And that will be subjective, because you have some women who will say that he's being disrespectful by being honest with women to say, hey, you want a high value man, and yet and still, as a comment says, you're 5'4", 280, 3 kids, and yet and still you want, this high value man. And a lot of women have
kids
taken
devalue a woman.
Huh?
Kids devalue a woman.
I'm not sure if that's what he believes or not, but I'm just saying that's kind of what he kind of what his MO is. And so again, it is drawn criticism from women. Now you have women who support and understand what he's saying, and then you have the critics the same way you have men who support him and understand what he's saying, and then you have his critics, which, as you've seen from the video, you have Vicky who has a criticism of herself of him. And so again, that's basically what he does in a nutshell, and that's how he's, created his following, because he speaks to women and he do speak to men as well, and he shot at men, also.
Well, I guess my only statement would be consider the messenger. Consider the messenger, and if what he's saying and who he is important to you, I guess. But if he doesn't do anything for you, I mean, okay,
right?
I don't. Whatever. He don't pay money under my bills, so I don't know.
Right on.
Right. so Benet, what are your thoughts about Kevin Samuels?
I don't believe in relationship experts. I don't believe that.
Oh, is that what he's supposed to be?
Yeah.
Is he in a relationship? Is he married?
I have no idea because I don't follow him, but I'm very leery of people who don't understand or know the dynamic of my household, trying to give me advice on how to run my household. Shout out to the sister and her little tap 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 tap. Those sound effects with everything. Anyway, so I think people, they follow cats like him and put them on a pedestal only to find out they're just human like everybody else. So I don't subscribe to a preset of rules as defined in a relationship. And when I say in a relationship, I am somewhat conservative on that view. I believe in traditional marriage. My wife calls me misogynistic sometimes. To give you an example, my wife don't take out the trash. She don't wash the car. She don't do no yard work. She don't do none of that stuff because I feel like that's my responsibility. But that's what works in my household. And be it for me to go to somebody else's household and see my partner's wife taking out the trash, or she may be mowing the yard for her own exercise or whatever the situation is. And, man, why you letting your wife do that? That ain't my business. So, I think people need to stay in their lane, so to speak, about what goes on in other person's houses. As far as I have heard some of his comments about, the women, and I have to agree with my castmate. It's all about the delivery. You could be speaking the greatest truth on the face of the planet, but if your delivery is jacked up, nobody's going to hear it. And then if nobody's going to hear it, then what's the point of communication if you can't get your point across? So with him, even with the young lady, shout out to her having her show and stuff. She want to bring up his cheerleading and all of that stuff. Dwight D. Eisenhower was a cheerleader and a Brother Mason. Franklin D. Roosevelt was a cheerleader and a Brother Mason. Those are some of the greatest leaders in our in this country. And I don't think him cheerleading and stuff, but if he has an issue with black women, I don't think, hey man, now if a woman marries a man and she has 3 or 4 kids, 3 or 4 baby daddies, or he has 2 baby mamas or whatever, that may just work for them. I mean, I got some single partners out there and I'm finna be 50, so they are up in their 50s and they don't want to marry a woman that has young kids. Some people don't want to marry a person with with kids that has 2 or 3 baby daddies or 2 or 3 baby mamas or whatever the situation is. Everybody got a history in the past or whatever the situation is. So I don't think having kids devalue a woman, but it does change the circumstance of what you may want to deal with. Let me say it like that. Give you an example. I'm 50 years old. I'm finna be 50. My wife just turned 30. We have a 8-year-old, a 6-year-old, and a 4-year-old, and we trying to get pregnant again. And God forbid something happens to us or our marriage and stuff like that. But I really doubt that a woman my age will want to take me on because I have more of a responsibility because I have young kids. Does that devalue me as a person? No. It's just something she may not want to deal with. She may want to do something else. It may be certain things about her. She may snore too loud at night, and I don't want to deal with that. She may wear just granny panties instead of thongs. I may not want to deal with that. So it's just all about what you want and how you want to do it. But as far as somebody making a platform on trying to tell people how to live, I definitely don't. I just don't get that.
Right.
Yes, I like to live by the motto of it costs nothing to mind your business.
Right on. Exactly.
Right. Now, and again, and I agree with all you guys. However, we have them out there. On the flip side of him, there was a gentleman by the name of Derrick Jackson.
Oh yeah,
and he was
on camera.
I got a feeling that's who you probably seen and watched a little bit of because
I didn't know nothing about him until I saw him apologizing to his wife with that bonnet on.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, but I say that to say because where you have a Kevin Samuel, you have a Derrick Jackson, and again, Nadirah face lit up. I'm looking at the screen. It was like, oh, I know him, but why? And so I believe what's good for the goose is good for the gander. If you don't know the history, and I didn't know who Derrick Jackson was until one of my friends sent me. Again, I'm in radio. So I'm gonna get sent shit that I don't even want to talk about, but it's gonna make for great conversation. I found out who this brother was, and apparently he had been pandering to women until he was busted for infidelity. But all this time he's selling dreams and telling black women this is how black men are, and there's no excuse. Never one teaching accountability,
right?
And women loved it.
Let me give you an example. The only reason why I know about Derrick Jackson is we got a request to interview him on my show, and I did just a little bit of research, all about 10 or 15 minutes, and I realized that what he was talking about is not something that I wanted to give to my audience. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like my castmate is talking about, I try to present, I want to educate and entertain.
Right.
And so, and again, you're talking about what's the big thing now? A woman should wear a bonnet in public. A woman shouldn't do this. A woman should do that. Who came up with these rules and regulations? I'm not the fashion police. So I want to talk about how the betterment of marriage, the betterment of relationships, the betterment of ourselves individually,
right,
and as a society, as we relate to each other, the black man and the black woman. I don't have the patience to say, hey, Nadirah, you just had a baby. You ain't supposed to be wearing this. You ain't supposed to be doing all of that. Why you got all of this going on? That ain't my business. That woman got a whole husband at the house, and how they run their house is their business. So
I think that people have, me personally, I know it costs me nothing to mind my business, but people feel like when you're put out there in the open and you're putting your life out there that they have a say-so to have an opinion on it. So that's probably why people feel obligated to have opinions on anything. I mean, why does he have his show? Why do you have your show? It's I mean, it's subjective, I think, I guess.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It becomes subjective because, like I said, where we have and like I said, my biggest thing was, and as I set it up earlier in the show, is I thought gay black men were black women.
Now that my wife has 3 best friends, 2 of them are gay as hell. Hear me? So, and it used to, well, it still does to a certain extent, because at the end of the day, they still men.
Mm-hmm.
She'll hang out with them, and when I call and talk to her, they be in the background. Honey child this, honey child that, or whatever the situation is. I am of the personal belief there needs to be preset boundaries between men and women, because anybody is approachable after 3 shots of Patron. You dig what I'm saying?
Right.
Anything can happen after that particular point.
That's
So,
true.
but for whatever reason, I mean, she talked to them about their relationship problems, and they go shopping together, and buy makeup together, and all of that stuff, and everything like that. Now they can't come over to the house, but I met them, and I have I've associated myself with them, so they know who I am, and that was supposed, I guess, to make me feel a little bit more secure. But whatever the situation is, but it's like I told her, at the end of the day, they still men. Right. So, but yeah, it's a lot of sisters. My cousin's best friend is a proud member of the LGBTQ community. So,
right, and like I said, and I didn't know this was going to be your living situation, but I just wondered why. Is it that his brother, and if women can't listen to him, black women, and it's just a general question for anyone who can answer, well, who can black women listen to?
Now that right there, that has to deal with, you have to present yourself as a man in order for her to listen to. My wife listens to me because I put in the work for her to listen to. Now, if I'm not going to meet a black woman or any woman on the side of the corner and start trying to teach her life lessons, she's going to be like, who the F is this guy? Or whatever the situation is. I think you have to prove yourself in order for anybody to listen to you, whatever situation. You have to have, you have to have some type of moral compass. You got to walk that plumb line. You understand what I'm saying? And make sure that everything is what you want it to be. So I don't think it's a problem with black women listening. I think the men that are saying that maybe are not men who have proven themselves to their significant other or this specific woman for them to listen to.
Gotcha. And so my next question is, if Nadirah want to jump in, is my next question is, again, as she was speaking in the video, and I'm not sure if you guys peeped what she was doing, but she was low-key saying that men who agreed or felt that what he was saying was truthful somehow have a underlying, how would we put that? A underlying feminism toward themselves. You kept hearing her say this word, Badusi or something like that.
Right.
Very quick. She was getting here and there.
Well, that you have to look at her history. What has she been through in her life to make her feel that type of way? You dig what I'm saying? You have to look, like my castmate says, you have to consider the messenger. And I don't know her. Why would I listen to anything she has to say about it? I don't know her. I don't know her qualifications or specifics or anything like that to comment or whatever the situation is. I will say that I think she's very passionate about what she believes in, but I believe in male masculinity. I'm a traditionalist. I believe there's a role for a man and a role for a woman. Now, there is compromise between the two, because if it's up to me, my wife wouldn't work. She wants to work. That's their thing. It gets her out the house. She makes her own money or whatever. She likes that. So whatever, fine, as long as there's peace in the household. I'm sorry, castmate. Go ahead. You look like you had to say something.
No, I don't. I'm listening to you.
I want to know. I mean, do you agree?
Finish.
Do you agree? Do you disagree? I mean,
I think that the term male masculinity, like feminist, has been misconstrued. It's nothing wrong with being a strong man. Men are supposed to be, per scripture. We are the head. The Bible says the head of the household is the woman, but on the same token, this head can't go nowhere without the neck, the shoulders, the chest, all of that stuff. The Bible says that she is my helpmeet. That means if something happens and I need her, like right now, my arthritis is acting up. My wife then came in here, brought me something to eat, brought me a pack of cigarettes, filled my cup up with water and all of that stuff, because she knows I need that. I think that it also says that I am to love my wife like Christ loved the church. And it says,
there you go. I'm going to say, you can't leave that out.
Yeah, so you have to think about what Christ did for the church. Christ taught the church. Christ died for the church. Christ redeems the church daily. He does all of that stuff. He's the only person in heaven that still has scars on him. And it says in what is it, 1 Peter, that a woman is to respect me. I am to love her. She is to respect me and my authority in this house. But it further also goes to say that she is the manager and maintainer of the house. What is that? Proverbs 31. Mm-hmm. She runs this household. I pay every bill in this house. But the only place I can smoke my cigarettes is in my man cave. I cannot bring liquor into this house. I have to keep it in the garage because those are the rules that she set up for this house. When them kids get in trouble, they look at me. I'm like, oh, don't look at me. But do what your mama said. Right. So I don't get in no trouble because I ain't trying to be in trouble too. So already, I think I think there's nothing wrong with that. As far as the feminist thing goes, I don't think there's anything wrong with being a strong woman, black or white. I think that men have let women down so long throughout the course of history because we have not led, we have not protected, we have not done the things that we are supposed to do. And most people cleave to the negative versus the positive. And so they've had to take up the role of a man and be strong. And when a woman, when she fits into her role where she feels comfortable, safe, and secure, it's very hard for her to relinquish that role and that said title. So you got a man coming in, this woman paying her own bills, she got her own house, she managing to maintain her home money, then you want to step in and be the man? Well, brother, you got to work for that. You got to show her that she can let her guard down and relax and let her be a feminine. I believe, when some woman get married, she doesn't have to need to be so independent. What type of man would I be if my wife was walking around here constantly stressed out and worried about if the light's going to get cut off or if the car's going to get repossessed or whatever the situation is? So I think that those two terms have been taken out of context, so to speak.
Right. I definitely agree. I'm one of those, I'm a history guy also. You have to go back and look at words, and you're in an organization where you were taught.
Because we both know words matter.
Words matter. You're absolutely right. And so even when you go back in the history of that word feminist, you'll find out that men too were feminists. And right. I do agree that we just played with so many words, and we tried to change definitions. We put different meanings to them and not going back to the root of all of it. With that being said, like I said, I've never discussed this, and I wanted to just get your thoughts about it. And as we wind up the show, we have Mo'nique. Mo'nique, if you follow the comedian Mo'nique, she has come out. I call her Auntie Mo'nique because now, as she's gotten older in her career, she's looking out for sisters. Well, we also know that every sister does not want them to look out for you. So over this past week, she actually did a video and she wanted to talk to Black women about wearing bonnets publicly. This is a very short video, probably about 5 minutes. And we're going to talk about that. We got a sister on. And so I want to know your thoughts. I'm
gonna let my sister. I'm gonna let my castmate handle this one. I'm gonna leave this one 100%, 1000% alone.
Yeah, we're gonna let the sister talk about this because who better to talk to the sisters than a sister? So we're gonna play this little 5-minute clip of her talking to the sisters, and we're gonna jump into it. And I want to know, Miss Lady's thoughts about the video. Hold on 1 second. Let me make sure I got my audio with it also. And here we go.
Hey, my sweet babies. So, it took me a minute to say what I'm getting ready to say because I want to make sure I'm not saying it in judgment. And I want to make sure I'm saying it from a place of love. Y'all, some of y'all have given me the title Auntie. And I'm honored that y'all do that, right? But there are times where Auntie gotta talk to her babies and say some real shit. So, yesterday, I was in the airport in Atlanta because I'm in Jackson, Mississippi now at Chuckles Comedy Club, right? And we got 3 shows tonight. We got a matinee at 5:30. Then we got 7. Then we got 10. Right? And I'm excited. I always love going to the stage. So when we got to the airport yesterday, I was excited. Like, all right, baby, let's go get him in Jackson, Mississippi. And as we began to walk through the airport, I saw so many, actually too many to count, and too many for me to tap. But I saw so many of our young sisters in head bonnets, scarves, slippers, pajamas, blankets wrapped around them, and this is how they're showing up to the airport. And I've been seeing it, not just at the airport, I've been seeing it at the store, at the mall. I've been seeing sisters showing up with these bonnets and headscarves and slippers. And the question that I'm having to you, my sweet babies, when did we lose pride in representing ourselves? When did we step away of let me make sure I'm presentable when I leave my home? Let me make sure I'm representing the family I created so that if I'm out in the street, I look like I have pride in myself. And I'm not saying no full face of makeup. I'm not saying no full front lace frontal. I'm not saying none of that. All I'm saying is, could you please comb your hair? And if you don't want to comb your hair, they got enough shit out here now, baby, where you can style yourself up and look like you have pride. I'm not saying you don't have pride, but the representation that you're showing, someone would have to ask you to know that you had it. So my sweet babies, for the ones that do call me auntie, I love you for real. Even the ones that don't, I love y'all answers too. But the babies that say auntie to me, please listen to auntie. Always have pride in your representation of you. It's not to get a man. It's not. It is just your representation of you, my sweet babies. So I'm just giving y'all a warning. If I see you in the streets, in the airport, in the Walmart, and you got a bonnet on, and you got slippers on, and you looking like what the fuck, Auntie gonna tap you and say, hey, baby girl, show you what you worth. Show you what you deserve. So all of those posts that you see celebrities putting out there saying, hey queen, hey queen, hey queen, well, can we start putting it into action? So I'm asking our wiser sisters, when we see our little babies out there looking like they just don't care, and I'm not saying y'all don't, it looks like it. Can we just tap them and say, baby girl, you deserve more than what you're showing. Represent you with pride, my babies. And that may be a part of us helping our community. Because if you look like you don't give a damn, how you gonna be treated? So, when I say, hey, queen, I can only say it to the sisters that it belongs to. Because a lot of us are still in queen training. So if you're in queen training, stop being fearful of taking your position. And queens don't walk around with bonnets and headscarves and slippers and pajamas. That's for the house. When you go outside, represent you, baby, like you are worthy and you deserve the title of Hey Queen. Auntie love y'all for real, and I ain't never gonna BS you.
All right, there we go. Talk to me. Let's go.
Don't nobody give a damn about you, nor do you give a damn about yourself.
You.
Can y'all hold on right quick? My child is crying.
It's all good. Hey, handle your business. Handle your business. Benet, let me know what's your thoughts.
Me personally, I don't see. I like that she came. It seemed like to me she came out of spirit of love. I think she brought up some interesting and valid points, but that's not to say that sometimes my wife, in the heat of things, and she got to run to the store real quick, she won't throw her button on and her slippers to shoot up to Walmart, get a couple of things, and shoot right back. Again, I am not the fashion police. And I've learned through marriage, sometimes you need to learn when to shut the F up. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. My castmate is back, so I'm gonna give it to her. She's a woman.
Okay, so my opinion on this is I'm gonna tell you how I took it, what like I received from her message, because I can only speak for me. So I'm thinking from a space, again, as an actress, as someone who, if I'm in the Dallas streets, I could possibly run into a director. I could possibly run into a producer. I could possibly run into a fellow castmate or something of that sort. I think what Mo'Nique was basically saying, well, I mean, I think she said what she wanted to say, but for me and how I took it is, you never know who you're going to run into. You never know what type of situations you're going to be in. Just always put your best foot forward. Thinking back to the 50s and the 60s and how we used to dress, and just you don't leave the house without putting your best foot forward. That's what our history is. And I'm personally never going to leave the house with the bonnet on. Have I done it before? Yeah, I have. But my husband has gotten on to me about that. And he's like, you know what you're trying to do in your life and what you're wanting to be. And so you just want to make sure you don't, again, have to be glamorous and from head to toe, but you do want to make sure that you're presentable in the space where opportunity meets preparation. Now, do I have an opinion about someone that's doing something like that? No, I don't. Again, it costs $0 to mind your business. So if someone chooses to do that, that's on them. That's not something I'm going to personally do. Because at the end of the day, it takes a lot to do a woman's hair, like point blank period. Like it takes a lot. Men can just put on hats and walk out the door. Women, I can't put a hat on this. Like I cannot put a hat on this. It does not work. But also, I'm also not going to leave the house without something being done. My family, that's my mom, by the way.
Hey, mama.
If you notice, she has a scarf on in her profile picture. My family were Muslim. And so I got the bonnet thing, but when Mo'Nique said the scarf thing, I'm like, hold on. We wrap our hair all the time. Black women wrap their hair. Like that's what we do. And there's multiple things, like Mo'Nique said. So if I don't feel like doing my hair, I will put on my scarf. It's going to be styled in a cute little way, but I will put it on. I literally just took it as just have some pride about yourself and not leaving the house, because I'm imagining what she's talking about. And I'm believing that she's talking about someone who will have a bonnet and not just slippers, but like maybe some holes in their slippers, or a shirt that's like got stains on it. But you also don't know what's going on in someone's life and what they had to leave the house. Their baby could have been crying and that's all they had on, and they had to go get formula from the store, and you don't know why they're at where they're at because they had to drop everything to go take care of their household. Like you don't know what people are kind of going through. There was critiques about her making this video, and she made the video in a robe. And it's like, how you gonna tell people not to leave their house in a bonnet and whatever, but you are presenting it in a robe? Like the world is seeing you in a robe. It's the same. So it's like, again, minding your business. And for me personally, I will not leave the house with a bonnet and like slippers on. So my mama got on me about that too. Again, she's older. So when I was younger, if I tried to leave the house with slippers, it wasn't gonna happen. So that's just, I mean, my husband, he'll iron sweats. Like that's how our house goes. Like you gotta leave like something. Again, I will repeat myself in saying, I have no judgment to someone that does. Do your thing. But me personally, I'm not going to leave the house with a bonnet or go to the airport with a bonnet. I'll have to do something else before I do that.
Right. And so she also has come out with other videos since then. And first and foremost, why I want to have this conversation, because again, when I seen the video, when I heard about it, when the story came across, and I watched the videos, I had to go back and actually find that video today to see what exactly did she say. What I took from it, it was out of love. What she's basically saying is hey, you know, when I'm seeing, she's saying, you know, she was talking about like a group of women who are going on a vacation, right? And so they're showing up to the airport on a girl's vacation, and everybody has on flip-flop pajamas, bonnets. And so, you know, that's why she said it's just too much to count, or you're at the grocery store. And I understood her message. She's saying, hey, listen, you are better than that. Be mindful when you go out, because as you said, you never know who's going to see you, and vice versa. What opportunity will present itself? I think that people who want to see the negative are the people who just don't want to listen. Basically, in a nutshell, who is she to tell me what to do? And she goes on in the second video to say, listen, let me tell you what changed my life. And in the video, she goes on to say that it was Patti LaBelle and another lady who took the time to say, hey, my sister, I see you falling off, or whatever's going on with you, what's going on? And that's basically what Mo'Nique is saying. Listen, I might not know what's going on, but I'm going to say something to you, because as you said, your baby could be crying at home. And so she does go on in the second video to elaborate what she meant by it and tell her story of what changed her life through her career. And that's why she's saying, listen, if you are a woman and you see women out there like that, where would be the total opposite of you of minding your business. Let me get in your business to see if you okay. Because you might find out that this sister might be broken. She might, you know, be having hard time, depression, and all those things that are just a regular conversation would bring about and bring out. And
Yeah,
so,
but I mean, if you go to Walmart, you go to the Target or the airport, or you know, whatever, because I mean, all of us have seen it, so it's not that we haven't seen it. It's like, okay, if you look at a scenario of a woman and she's got 3 or 4 kids with her, she could be a single mother. She could be just doing the best that she could, and everybody understands, especially now that I actually have a child, so I understand. On the side, one side of the picture where the baby is super cute and all dressed up, and on the other side is a broke, like the mama is rough. It's
right.
it's a rough situation.
Right.
So if it's 3 or 4 kids, she don't care about nothing except that her kids are okay.
Right.
And so I understand the situation. I do understand, like I said, what Mo'Nique is saying as well.
Right.
I like to play devil's advocate a lot, and I understand both situations. But at the end of the day, people got to do what they got to do.
Right. Well, yeah, well, definitely. I mean, you know, and again, you know, that's
Right on.
as African Americans to have these conversations, as Black people to have these conversations. Mo'Nique is in a place in her life where she feels like she's the auntie and she needs to give back.
Right.
You know, my wife said something a long time ago that I never even thought about. I never heard the shit actually, which was, take the meat and spit out the bones. If it's for you,
Right.
it's for you.
Mm-hmm.
If it's not for you, it's not for you.
If I can make
the same thing is considered a messenger in a sense. Like that's
you know,
everything. Like take the meat, spit out the bones. Take what you need and throw everything else away.
And throw the rest away. I mean, and like I said, I understand it. I get that she's coming out of love. She's getting older, and what she's trying to get back to us, caring about our community. Right. And I would never knock a man or woman for saying we need to get back to caring about our community. And so,
if I can say something real quick, not to interrupt you. You said that people give her the title of auntie. I think people need to be very careful on who they consider role models. And I'm not talking specifically about Mo'Nique. I'm talking about people, period. because Deion Sanders said it, and he's made this quote, and it resonated with me. He said, "Be careful who you call role models, because a lot of these models are just playing roles."
Right. He said that the other day. I watched him and he said it.
Yeah. So I think we just got to be real careful of who we look up, like who we look up to and who we call auntie and all of that stuff and everything like that. The only person I want my son to look up and learn how to be a man from is me. So that's enough responsibility to not worry about who wearing a bonnet at Walmart. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah, and like I said, listen, you mentioned Deion Sanders. I am so a fan of his. He is a genuine brother. I remember back in high school, and I graduated from Kimball High School here in Dallas, Texas.
Shout out to the Kimball Knights.
Yeah, shout out to the Kimball Knights. And he came up there and he fooled with us without the cameras. And that's what I loved about this brother. Him and Michael Irvin, we ain't talking about, it ain't finna make the news. They genuinely came up there because they wanted to see, we see that's a talented brother there. We want to take you, as he always says, I take them brothers up under my wing. And I have always been a fan of that brother. And I watched the show he did where he said that. And I agree. Of course, we have to watch it. I am very leery as well of role models. And I say this as we come to an end, since we mentioned that. I think we do a disservice to our young brothers and sisters. And if you guys can remember, and you probably seen it when you was in elementary school, junior high, and high school, we had, what do they call that day where we bring in the lawyers and the doctors, career day. And they're trying to bring the best of the best to the school because that's who they want us to kind of pretty much see as a level of success. But as we get older, we realize that success is subjective. It looks different for everybody. I might not grow up to be a doctor who you just placed in front of me. I might not be that lawyer. And I've always said that we do our children a disservice because the reality is everybody and every child is not going to go that way. I feel I'm successful. I have a radio show I've been doing 4 years now, a business. I'm successful in my own right. I'm sure Nadirah.
No, you said it right the first time.
Nadirah.
No,
okay,
Nadirah.
Okay, thank you. But I believe you think you are successful in your own right as well as Benet. You get what I'm saying?
Some days better than others, but yeah.
What you say?
I said some days more than others, but yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, listen, you guys are more than welcome to come back because you guys will get to see this is an open and honest show. It don't even have to be on anything that's going on. If you say, hey, man, I want to pop in with your crew, because we are very transparent here. I tell people all the time, listen, after 4 years, sometimes I wake up and don't even want to do a show.
You will hit that wall. I've been doing mine for close to 9 years. You will hit that wall.
Just in business and life in general, every day is not. I joke with people all the time. I don't wake up with Jesus on my mind. That'll be a lie. You know what I'm saying? That's a lie. I don't wake up like that every day. Some days I'm just having a bad day. I'm for whatever reason. And so again, I agree with Benet. And again, thank you guys. Before we get up out of here, first plug the movie.
Go see Heavy, June 19th. I think hopefully she'll open up another show. Follow Heavy the Movie on Facebook. Follow it, Heavy the Movie on Instagram. Follow Heavy the Movie on YouTube. There's some nice behind the scene footage. Keep up with us on that for all our social media, for each individual actor's social media, because Tiara Stacks and DeMarcus Bailey, they put together a fantastic cast, which includes Jamal Woodard. People know him as playing the Notorious B.I.G. And so this is a fantastic movie. Go see, go watch, go support DFW indie filmmakers and check us out. My character again is Nate. The young lady at the bottom of the screen, as she so eloquently put it, that's my property. So Yeah,
And
go
that's
check
why
us
I gotta
out.
go watch the movie because I want to see how this property thing goes. And see, I'm really looking at her sideways because I'm like, I'm just not pulling everything. You over there, you've been sitting, and I know your mind had just have a ton of things on it. And I'm gonna pick your brain, so you gonna be back on my show just because.
Okay.
And you, my brother, I'm telling you, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna invite both of you guys to get back because Candace did send me you all's social media
Yes, sir.
pages. And so what I'm gonna probably do is go to your pages, Facebook. I'm gonna probably add both of you guys to mine as well. And so don't be surprised if I have you guys back on with my crew. I would love for you to meet my I call them my partners in crime, my loyal ladies, of the show as well. And I think you guys would really have a good time. Again, thank both of you guys. I appreciate you for spending time and
Thank
taking
you for
time out of
having us.
your day.
Thank
Uh,
you for having us. Thank you for
hey,
having us.
listen, no problem at all.
If
I'm
y'all,
humble.
if you're a part of the group of people that will not be able to attend the premiere on the 19th, again, the movie will be released on Tubi and Amazon
Released on
Prime.
Tubi and Amazon
So
Prime,
just
baby.
you have an opportunity to see it if you're not going to be able to join the cast and crew. So
Right.
it'll be there.
And listen, for you folks that are watching and who's going to rewatch this, don't act like you don't pay for Prime Amazon because most black folks do. It don't cost nothing but $10.99 or $9.99 a month. So I know you got Prime Amazon and it comes with free movies. So it's probably included with Amazon Prime. So
Yes.
make sure you guys support this black movie. On this show, we support everything black. And the arts are no different. I do think before I get up out of here is that we need more young men and women in the arts. And
Hey,
so,
DFW is coming up on the scenes. There are some dynamic film writers, film directors that's really putting DFW on the spot, kind of like how Atlanta did back in the 90s. So this is our time. DFW is loaded with talent. Shout out to Corey Pratt, Tika G, Kristen Bond, Montreal. What's
Kenny
Montreal's last name?
Horn. I don't know Montreal's last name. Kenny Horn.
Kenneth Horn. All these, everybody you see in this movie, ladies and gentlemen.
Judah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Judah.
Derek.
Yeah, Jamal Randall. Everybody you see in this movie, find them on social media, follow them, support them, especially Tiara Stacks, especially DeMarcus Bailey, the whole cast and crew. It took a lot of work to put this together, but we really think you'll be pleased with the project. So please go out and see Heavy, the movie.
already, listen, with that being said, those people, if you are watching, actor, actress, now DeMarcus Bailey, I have him on my social media page, and so I'm gonna just probably reach out to him and be like, say, man, you ain't jumped on. Everybody else associated with you, been on this show, but you. Again, I just do a minor 150 some plus thousand a month worldwide. I'm not major at all. I'm just major enough. I'm a baby baller. I will admit that. So if you guys who are watching don't think I'm below y'all standards, hit me up. You can go to the Petty Crew page. I would love to have you guys on. I do this as a labor of love. Anybody, black business, event, you name it, because I make it my business, as Mo'Nique says, to elevate us. With that being said, thank you guys for tuning in to the show. I love you as usual. We have another great show on Sunday. And until next Sunday, we are out of here.
Hey, so Mo it be, Rush for Master.
Hold on, man.